What is good, wishers? Welcome back. I am your host, Morgan Ashley, and this is Indie Tuesdays. And welcome to those of you who are new. Let me give you a quick run through of what we do here on Indie Tuesdays. Throughout the week, we come across new and up-and-coming artists, and every Tuesday, I get the opportunity to share with you about the said Indie Tuesday Artist of the Day. And today, I have with me a queer, LA-based musician and songwriter who describes herself as a gangly girl who is unmistakably schoolboy energy combined together. With her music, she would like to free herself and others, and along with that, wants to be the authentic voice of the queer community. Please welcome Bonded Jacky.
Good job! Oh my God, you're so prepared. Thank you. That feels so nice.
Thank you. I try. We want to get things right here, okay? We want to. That's the goal in mind. But thank you so much for being on the show. I know that you've been working on a lot of things throughout your musical journey, and I want to catch up with you and see what you've been up to. So within the past year, it's almost going to be half the year already gone by now. It's crazy. But I know that you've been performing, so you just released an EP not too long ago. I want to know how that all went about.
Oh man, I mean, it was like my life for over a year. Yeah, I felt like I was writing it for a while. A lot of those songs were brewing for a couple of years.
Okay.
But then I was just like, you know what? It's time. I'm doing this. It's happening. And I saved up money and I went to Asheville and recorded at my dream studio. And yeah, slowly but surely I got it all together, and then I got like a release plan going, and then did like a waterfall release.
Nice.
And yeah.
That's a beautiful way to put it, a waterfall release.
I know, it's the most organized. I'm not very organized. I don't know how I got that all together.
It's almost like I love being an organized mess, because some part of it is organized, but most of it's messy. But it's somewhere in there. It's somewhere in the compartments.
That's the hard part about being a musician, because like the creative parts, like what makes, I feel like, me like interesting are all the reasons that I'm like unorganized. So, but I, you know, you have to wear.
There's steps. There's a process.
Yeah,
just got to figure out in life in general.
Yeah, of course.
But getting into your music as well, I did some research and I was able to listen to some of your music as well. And when I listened, well, the first song I listened to led me to your EP that just came out. But the first song I listened to was Okay, and I was like, okay, I understand. I understand where you're coming from, and the lyrics. I'm on my way to okay. It's so simple, but still, you never get to think about that. And when it hits you, well, when it hit me, I was like, oh, that's just a word I needed to hear. So, as a musician, I wanted to dig more deep into when you have those words in your song, or when you have those lines in your song. Is it something that just comes up in your brain, or is it something that just comes along as you're making a melody? How do you formulate songs like Okay?
Yeah, that's a great question. Well, I was writing that song right when I moved to LA, like 2.5, almost 3 years ago.
Nice.
And I was, living in a shed in an Airbnb. And I had like this little side shed that I was writing this song in. I was going through a breakup, obviously. And yeah, I feel like it took a lot of journaling. I tried to just take my ego out of it and just keep journaling and journaling. And I feel like I was writing it for myself to kind of like get to that place. Right. So I was kind of surprised when I when I got there. I was like, hey, that's what I needed to hear. Yeah. Thank you.
I'm on my way to okay.
And my goal was just to be honest with myself, because I was not okay at the time.
Right.
And I couldn't fake that.
And it's okay to not be okay, but just know you're still on your way as well.
Of course. Boom.
Thank you.
That's another way. That's another way the lyrics should have gone.
No. The song went as it was supposed to. So if you haven't had the chance, listen to Okay. That's just letting to you guys out there. But so moving on, I just went from Okay to Airplane Mode, and that song is a vibe within itself as well. I completely understand it. Well, it spoke to me, but when I was listening to it, I also heard the title of the EP during like the bridge or in the backgrounds. I love the way everything's layered in the background. with the harmonies and the hums, everything. So anyway, sorry, that was a side note. You're welcome. I wanted to know, how did you jump from, or how did you create the music to grow from okay to Cool People Don't Exist?
Yeah, I love that you listened to OK first, because that was truly like the first song that I put out in the world where I was like, I'm doing it. So nice. Yeah, I feel like the jump of that was me journaling a lot again, and like just being more and more honest with myself. And like Airplane Mode is this idea of like cool people don't exist, and we're all just like walking around being a cooler version than we actually are. And we're just like, yeah, we have like this little veil of coolness to hide all of our little goofy parts. And so after that like breakup, when I was dating again, I found myself like continuously, like I would go on a date and I'm like, I'm not even, what am I doing?
Who is this
I would
person?
be so chill and just like, yeah, I would just be very reserved. I'm not reserved. I'm like such a weirdo. So I was like, why am I doing that?
We're all weirdos. It just depends on when we want to show the weirdness out, you know?
Yeah. And it would just, the people that I was seeing, like slowly they'd be like, wait, oh, you're like very weird. And I was like, yeah, I know. But yeah, I feel like the best parts of myself, I always save for later. And my goal is like right off the bat and just be,
this is who I am.
This is who I am. The flames help. I feel like I'm like this, if I wear this, then maybe it's just a little more honest.
Right. That you are who you are.
Something, yeah.
I'm not just my hair, okay?
Yeah.
Bring every memory, we'll share another story to the place where I wanna be, the special group as you and me, morning or night. Whenever I'm here, I feel so fine, sitting here gazing at you with a cup of coffee, make it two. Every sip gives me delight, stirring up such joy inside. For it's not beautiful if it's not true. It's not the kind of warmth if it's not with you. It's not my coffee if it's not me.
So when it came to the title, is that also what sparked the title of the EP, Cool People Don't Exist?
Yes, yeah. I was looking at all the songs together and I was like, what is this all about? And I felt like that was it. That whole overarching idea of cool people don't exist. And I truly do believe that.
Really? I feel like the definition of cool depends on the person, right?
Good point.
Okay.
Totally.
I feel like cool, I feel weird is cool, but at the same time, it's also the definition of other people is weird. So like, I guess, okay, full circle.
Yeah.
Cool people don't exist.
If your definition of cool is like, not genuine, like cool as in like not affected, like I just don't believe that people, like everyone has like all these little quirks about them.
Right.
I
hear you.
With that definition.
I hear you.
But no, I think weirdness is so cool.
Right.
So in that case, yeah, you're right.
It's a piece of you. It's a piece of who you are that nobody else can replicate, because it's you being you. But do you have, so I listened to the songs, but I was wondering, do you have a music video for Airplane Mode, or is that just maybe in the works, that's still in the talks?
It's maybe in the works, still in the talks.
Okay.
I did like a lyric video. I worked with this really amazing claymation person named Bizarros, and he's so cool. So I kind of just like had, I don't know, I was like, should I hire him to do a full music video with the claymation? So I'm still thinking about it, but yeah, I have so many music video ideas.
I like that it's called Airplane Mode.
Yeah.
I feel like we've all been there. And actually, I'm talking about the song like everybody's heard it. Sorry, my bad. For those who are trying to figure out what Airplane Mode is all about, will you give us like a little snippet as to the behind-the-scenes story behind that song?
Yeah. Well, so the reason it's called Airplane Mode is I didn't know this, but if you want to read someone's text and them to not get a read receipt, you turn your phone on airplane mode. And so someone told me that, and it's kind of that idea of like acting cooler than you are.
Right.
Because like if someone texts me, or like if I'm dating, I'm gonna read it right away.
But I don't want you to know.
No, you like gotta give it some time. Like the
let
whole
me read.
games.
Let me have time to read what you text me.
Right.
Yeah.
And like the second verse, not trying to play games, but like that's games.
Yes.
That's games.
Not trying to, but if I do, oops, I'm sorry. I'm just
exactly.
trying to go along in this process of getting to know you. You know, it's all some kind of game that we're not wanting to play. You know,
It is. Oh.
so another gem dropped on the show. But speaking of picking up things where they don't need to be, I wanted to veer into our sponsor for today. Today's special is sponsored by naturesideal.com. If you're like me, who doesn't have a lot of time shopping but would like to keep myself healthy, go visit naturesideal.com. Naturesideal.com is a family enterprise of naturally made products. With naturesideal.com, you will find plenty of knowledge about healthy living tips and great natural and organic products, from babies to enriching health and beauty supplements. At naturesideal.com, they get excellent views because of their great products, low prices, and superior customer service. So call 1-800-677-0184 or check them out at naturesideal.com. Healthy living starts with naturesideal.com. Getting back to the subject at hand. We were just talking about airplane mode and how sometimes we don't want to play the games, but sometimes we do have to play the games to just keep in there and making sure we're getting to know people. With your music, as you try to figure out ways to get to know yourself better in music and in songwriting, I have a question that I wanted to know about is, do you find that going through life experience help you out a lot more when it comes to writing songs, or is it that mixed with other experiences from your friends or family that you pull from as well?
Oh man, it's everything. Yeah. I feel like it's my life experience, but I love hearing other people's stories, so I feel like I do pull from other people. I feel like the core of what I write about, though, is like what I'm working through, and I don't like want to say it out loud, so I just figure out another way.
Music is the best way, though.
Yeah.
And when it comes to being the authentic voice for the queer community, do you feel that your music is part of what helps you help those who can't find their voice as well?
Totally.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think the whole idea of wanting to be an authentic voice for the queer community is I feel like it's just like a lot more nuanced, and it's like it's 4D instead of like the mainstream portrays it as this 2D version.
Got it.
And so I feel like it's just so nuanced and complicated, and I feel like I want to just tell my story in that way. It's not like black and white. There's
so many other colors to put to the picture.
There is. It's a rainbow.
Okay. Hello. Duh. But for those who want to know more about your music projects and your future performances, what is the best social media place for people to follow you?
Instagram. Yeah, at Bonded Jacky. Plain and simple.
That's how I found her.
Not plain and simple, just at Bonded Jacky. There's no plain and simple in that title.
You can find them at Bonded Jacky. Okay?
At Bonded Jacky.
But thank you so much for being my Indie Tuesday Artist of the Day. I look forward to hearing more of your music and seeing some future projects in the works as well. But until then, wishers, I will see you next Tuesday. Keep on wishing.